Bear with me. You guys know I'm an emotional person, so I'm probably not going to make this through. But Max he's doing all right. We came home Saturday night from the ICU. So we started PT yesterday, and let me tell you, he hates that. But he's doing okay. His personality's back. He's Max. He's doing good in that aspect. But he's got to relearn how to do pretty much everything. Terrible syndrome, Guillain-Barré. He's doing okay. He's on his way to being better.
How are you doing? I know this is a really tough time, but just how does, like it's coming back to baseball, do you allow that just to kind of give yourself a moment?
It's a good thing I'm here because that means things are trending better. Chelsea and I, it's been a long week. No one should have to go through this, especially a 3-year-old. I don't know how many times Chelsea and I said we wish we could switch, Friday was hard. That's a hard day. So I think you guys know, like, the Giant series was obviously a very tough time for us as well. He woke up Monday morning with a limp. And by Monday night, he couldn't walk anymore. We took him everywhere. A lot of people were telling us, it was transient synovitis, which is just like a pain in the hip that causes kids after you get a viral infection. So he was spot on with that. Like, he really was. If you look up those symptoms, that's exactly what Max had. But Tuesday, he still couldn't walk, and he couldn't sit up anymore by that time. So he was just kind of laying down, and then that night, I came in after that game, and the only text I had was, I just got Brandon to sleep. Max is not doing good. So I think you guys were in the hallway, I think. That's when you guys saw me sprinting, so I just tried to get home. And we were in Orange County, long drive home. So I got home, he was sleeping, but he was waking up every hour. But we were still thinking it was transient synovitis. By Wednesday, I got pulled out of the game. You guys don't know that, but top 9. We finished the top of the 9th, and Doc was waiting for me at the steps coming off the field. And Chelsea had reached out to, I think, Alex Torres, and they got word and pulled me off the field that they were on the way to the emergency room. So I obviously started sprinting, and again, met him at the emergency room that night. He wasn't eating or drinking anymore, so that was the reason we took him in. We were still thinking it was transient synovitis, but obviously things were not progressing the way with what we were doing to make transient synovitis go away. So we took him in, ER, and they IV'd him. They did a bunch of tests, but even they thought it was transient synovitis still. So they gave him Toradol to help with pain, but that didn't even work. But they said if you give him 4 to 6, every 4 to 6 hours of Tylenol, he should be okay. We think it's transient synovitis. I said, okay, sounds good. So we got discharged at 3:30. We had a 1 o'clock game. I still came and played. I had an hour of sleep. So I was surprised I got a hit that day. But after the game, obviously, I didn't see anybody on Thursday, and we flew. I called Chelsea and FaceTime. I said, I don't know if I should be leaving right now. Something was off. It just felt wrong to leave, but We, we'll be okay. So Friday we had a pediatrician appointment at 2:45. So some of you guys saw me there. I did my early work. I got ready for the game, and I disappeared into the clubhouse because I was on FaceTime for that. And right when they took Max into that pediatrician, thankfully that pediatrician said, "You need to go to the hospital now. This is not transient synovitis." They were ready to call an ambulance for him because they didn't think he was going to be able to breathe that long. So I immediately ran and told Scott to help me get home. Everyone was so gracious, but they immediately got him to the hospital, to the emergency room, and within 2.5 hours, he had a ventilator in. The paralysis usually doesn't take that quickly to move up your body, so it starts in your feet and goes up. Within 4 days, it had reached his shoulders, which is affecting his diaphragm and breathing. So I'm at an airport trying to fly home and getting updates like it was absolutely awful, but I can imagine my wife, my family being there and seeing all this happening to your son. She watched everything in person. So by 7:30, he was completely ventilated, feeding tubes, everything. So I walked in about 10 o'clock. It's hard. I think a lot of us are parents in here. Seeing one of your kids on a ventilator, just fighting. It was hard.